This lesson is titled Rendering and Outputting. We've had issues with people as they render and output their stuff that it's too large of a file. So in this lesson, we're going to go through and show different ways that you can render things and how you can make the file smaller. Just learn different ways to do it. The files that you will need for this lesson are as follows. Let's see here. Let me go to close this. You're going to need this lesson 15 start file, which we're getting ready to open in a second. But you'll need movement, swimming dog, and title. So go to your start project file, double click on it to open it. Then we are going to click File, Save As, name it Finished, and then click Save. Already had one because I messed up before. And rendering creates the frames of a movie from all the layers, settings, effects, and other information that makes up the model for that image. It renders content every time it creates a preview, but this lesson focuses on the rendering process that occurs when we're finished. When we get everything done and we want to generate a final movie file using the render queue or Adobe Media Encoder, we're going to use those different ways so you can see the different qualities and how to do that. So we're going to first export a draft version of the On the Movement movie using the render queue. So select the movement composition up here and then choose Composition, Add to Render Queue. When you do that, you're going to see down here where it is. After Effects, open the Render Queue panel. The movement composition is in the queue. Note the default settings in the render settings and the output module pop-up menus. By default, you see right here, After Effects has the best quality right here. It has lossless right here. You haven't specified where we're going to send it to. So click the arrow to the right of Render Settings, and we are going to choose Draft Settings for this. After Effects, open the Render Settings dialog box. Oh, we got to click the word. I was like, why isn't mine open? Click the word Draft Settings and you see this dialog box. We're going to use most of the settings pre-selected, but we're going to reduce the resolution and ensure the entire composition is rendered. Sometimes when you start to render things, I've always told you that you needed to have it at the beginning of the timeline. Well, there's a way around that. So in the Render Settings dialog box, right here for resolution, we're going to change that to third. When you choose third, After Effects renders 1/9 of the pixels in the composition, 1/3 of the rows, and 1/3 of the columns. And the time sampling area, choose length of comp for time span. So click right here and see before we weren't doing this. When we changed it to the length of comp, we know it's going to get everything. So now click OK. Choose lossless. Ours already says lossless, so we don't have to change anything there. Click the blue words next to Output To. Many of you are saving things to your computer instead of saving them to your OneDrive, and you better hope that the computer never crashes or you're going to lose everything. What I want you to do now is go to wherever you're saving things. I would prefer it to be right now while we do this. This would be a great time to put things in your OneDrive. You can see I have a OneDrive and I have an After Effects 2021. This is actually lesson 15, so I'm going to put all my stuff that we do in lesson 15. What I want you to do is go to wherever you're going to save it, and then click New Folder, and we're going to title that Final Movies. So everything that we do for these projects, I want you to put it in this Final Movies, because at the end of this, you're going to submit one of these, but you're also, after you submit it, you're going to call me over to your desk and show me that you've done all of these. All right, so if I double click here now into the Final Movies, and we're going to name this draft _ RQ, and then it's an AVI. So then click Save, and that returns to the Render Queue panel. Once you've got that, over here we're going to click the Render button. After Effects will render the movie. If there were additional movies that were down here, they would have all rendered at the same time. So now that we've rendered that, let's go to wherever your Final Movies folder is, and here is your video. So we're going to double click on it to preview what you've done, and you can see that it's just a short video of a dog swimming. You can tell that the quality is not the greatest because but it's not a large file. Let's look here, let's click View and click Details, and you can see that it's 64,000 kilobytes. Some of you have tried to submit things that were 2.9 million. So let's close that.